Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to answer this question in just a second. I just want to cover some things before I answer this. And, well, the short answer is yes. Use your discernment wisely. When I refer now to, and it's hard to always remember it, but when I say Yeshua, when I say Yahuwah or Yahweh, the reason I'm doing that is because I started to pay attention and I started to study what happened in the Bible with the King James, what is it, 1611, and what the Jews did when they put Adonaiah, and they put Lord, which is I think the Adonaiah. Anyways, God's real name is not God, and it's Yeshua. I do these, choose what you want to do. If I would say to you, use what he's originally called by, what David called him by, what David, Solomon, Ezekiel, Isaiah, what those guys, Elijah, right, Samuel. It was Yahweh. You can look and you can study that. That's what it is. And it's because after the Babylonian, I know I go off base, but because after the Babylonian exile, they revered his name so much that they started to become frightened to say God's name aloud. And when you see Lord in the Bible, it's not really Lord. It's not really Lord. Anyways, I did another video a while back telling you this, so I would tell you to study it. What did I want to bring up first? I wanted to bring that up. So before I answer this question, just take a second. If you happen to, I know some people who follow me because I suffer with a lot of physical pain and other disorders, and so I hope some people who follow me, I hope they don't suffer with kidney stones. But if you ever do, I never really suffered with kidney stones until something happened to me, and then I started getting like kidney stones all the time, and I went 2 years, like I was getting them like 3/4. Yeah, it was about 3/4 of the time. 3/4 of the time. I felt cursed because the Moderna shot caused something in my gallbladder, and I believe the gallbladder is affiliated also with making kidney stones, and that's the only thing I could ever figure because it just came out of nowhere. I just started getting them all the time, and so I'm like, there's nothing that works for these. Like, no matter what I do, the more water I drink, and I recommend drinking water, it's just nothing's working. Nothing is working. And I drank like lime, but I was having it like bear because I didn't want to take it wasn't good to drink that all day long. And so what I didn't consider was eating oranges. So I was getting kidney stones, the regular size stones. They're about 5 to 7 millimeters each. And so I read somewhere that oranges were a lot better, and they're a lot easier to eat than lime and stuff like that. So then lemon. So I started off with one big navel orange, and I'm like, wow, my symptoms went down within like 2 days. I'm like, holy cow, but I still suffered with them anyways. So it's got to the point where I have 2 clementines, just like whatever size they happen to come in, and I have 2 of those a day and a big navel orange. So just about 2 oranges a day, and I'm kidney stone free. So that's worth knowing. So the main question, the falling away. What does it mean, and is it happening? I think the falling away, I think a lot of people get it wrong, because I've seen a lot of Christian videos where they're saying, well, you know, it could be Israel, it could be, you know, when they point to Israel, it is not Israel. If you look at the context of what Paul was talking about, you know, it's in the context of being in the church. It doesn't have to be with anything else, because that's what matters to him. Pardon me a second, I just got to take a sec. The church, so you think of the Reformation, all that type of stuff, and let's go through the 1900s, all the way up until when they took prayer out of school, right? They took prayer out of school. They took it out of everything. You take it out of school, you take it away from the kids, right? Because that's their belief system, and you know, a lot of bad stuff, I believe, judgments from God, started coming after that. You know, you have public schools, and look at the stuff they're teaching there now. But so when I look at it, I don't think there was really anything bad until people like Kenneth Copeland came around. So he's, I don't know, what is he, 70? He must be like 74, something like that. So he's been around for a while. And there's videos of him from a long time ago. By the way, he was a lot better back then, like biblically sound. There are videos, black and white videos. And so as you know, as the 70s and 80s, especially like when the 80s and 90s came around, you know, there would be like things like TBN or whatever, you would see them send in the money, you know, that type of stuff before the internet came. That was like the beginning of it. And I can't say that I saw it in person, because it wasn't like that around where I am. That was like mostly in the States. I'm sure it was in Canada too, but I think the falling away has only recently happened, but it had been building up for some time. Probably from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and when one person, there's a lot of people that are his age too that are still doing it, that have been doing that for that long, and that's why they have so much money now. You know, when you speak of Benny Hinn and was it Jesse Duplantis, these types of people, right? And they bring in these destructive heresies, just as Paul said, and the horrible thing about this world and why it's folding in real time is because of the internet. A lot of other people can see what these false teachers are doing, and they are like, man, I could do this, I could make money. You know what the worst thing is? The worst false teachers are the ones who know the Bible, because they know how to twist the hell out of it. So I think that's been building up. And with the introduction of YouTube and now TikTok, so many people can see it, and it's like a domino effect. That's what I think is happening. I think YouTube and TikTok have helped bring down the globe. You say Facebook, but it's those, like, because you can see each other's videos, and you know, they have followings of millions and hundreds of thousands, and there's so many of them. So what did I write here? So you look at the churches. Let's look at what's happening right now. What I heard. I'd have to look in further, but I had heard stuff and read stuff about the Church of England. This is the place where everyone, really looked to, right? And we're at the point where, you think these are high authorities. Not for me. That they're number one, they have lesbian and gay priests and all those types of things that would be unimaginable. As soon as they start bringing in LGBTQ, affirming, and then they start talking about God being a he, she, and then just a she, or just a trans, or whatever, what would Paul say? What would Jesus say? What would Matthew say? What would any of them say? They would say this is falling away. So when a Church of England that leads so many people in this world starts saying we can't use the name God anymore as a he, it's falling away. Look at these churches on the internet, like that we see, that you can see on YouTube, like churches that are live, that have people in big mega churches. They're having concerts with harlots. I call them harlots because they're shaking, they're half naked. I think you know what I'm talking about. So I think it's the worse we see this world get in every facet of society. Like you see America, you see the world, what's happening to the world. All the wars, all the infighting, all the corrupt people, politicians. You see the war spreading everywhere. Along with it is that. And you can't say that they're not connected, because they are connected. Everything is connected. We're going to have this eclipse, and I can't help but think that it's, I'm not going to say it, I think, what I think, it means judgment. There's something coming. It's a warning sign. God gives us warning signs. Not only that, but when it eclipses, we're going to be able to see that devil comment, and I'll be able to see it well here where I am. It's not totality here, but it's pretty close. Yes, the church is falling away, and it's getting worse every day. The great falling away. And that's why I started, you see my last couple videos talking about Joe Biden and reading. I say to you, forget Donald Trump ever existed and just look at Joe Biden and what he's done. The video following this, I did a really long video. I didn't know it would be that long. I put together a compilation of things that I saw happen from 2019 to now. I just gathered, there's about 25 clips. It'll probably be an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. You might like it, but you'll see. You'll just see, you'll see. What else did I want to say? You'd be surprised how many, exposing the darkness, right? When I said the last days ministry, when I tried to expose his lies, and you know what, I went through a lot of stuff, and I want to tell you this. I honestly believe that there are people out there who do get real visions. And I think the trouble I went through was I don't want to be wrong about it, because I don't want to point out. And it came down to Deuteronomy, what was it? Is it Deuteronomy 18? If they get just one thing wrong, they're a false prophet. Are we supposed to live by that verse? I believe so. Because every scripture is God-breathed for reproof and correction, right? So I'm like, okay, well, I'll keep track of one of the things that he claims. There's no one else talking about this, man. There's a lot. I'm getting a lot of comments on that video, like not good. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just erase them when I see them on my thing. Not erase it on the actual YouTube video, but like when I get it, it comes to my to like my Gmail. I just press. I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm like, okay, well, let's keep track of one to see, because what he said was, he said January, February, March, there was going to be a financial torrent. That's the way he used it. Like people are going to make a lot of money, and what he was speaking to was obviously his, wherever he lived, wherever his followers or whatever. I didn't hear of anything that happened. As a matter of fact, things are just getting worse and worse and worse. It's hard to point someone out, and that is part of the falling away, because it leads so many people away. But you never want to be wrong, right? But you know, if what they're saying doesn't come true, then they are false. Anyways, God bless. God bless.